Could probably summarise it pretty short. They won it, they owned it, and we didn't. And that's, in the end, we made it look hard at times. So, despite all that, with 5-6 minutes to go, we're in with a shot. So, so the guys' fight after half time was pretty good. I think it was 7 goals to 3 after half time. So, finished it out well. Again, our starts are just, we're not making the most of our starts, which is forcing us a long way back. And we've got to be better than that for us to be able to improve as a footy team.
Is it a question you can answer? Why? I mean, it's been a bit of a recurring thing. And some weeks you fall off the miraculous, and obviously today you couldn't quite do it. But just why they can have such a brilliant second half and pretty poor first?
No, not sure. It's a weekly ask. Yeah. So we've certainly looked at all different methods of just how we start the game. We've explored different ways of being able to try and keep the scoreboard in check. But it gets away from us, and that's when you sort of end up chasing a little bit. Ground their way through the game. I've come to expect that from our group. They just know how to rally, and they know how to sort of pull things together, which was pleasing to see in the second half. But obviously we've just got to set the game up better, so we give ourselves an opportunity right from the very start.
And the fight back in the second half was excellent. At the start of that second quarter, I think the first 8 minutes you got, only had 7 possessions or contested possessions. Just was so unlike the Brisbane we've seen the last 5 weeks, where you just always had a crack. They were just uncompetitive. Is that just a side developing? You can just have those.
I think generally speaking, at the contest, we're not too bad. I don't think there's in terms of pressure or putting pressure on the opposition or putting a head over the footy, there's no glaring avenues there, but just our ability to be able to get the ball and keep the ball in those periods of time, we lose our way, and as a result we go for long periods where we haven't touched it. So that happened in the second quarter this week. That's I thought we started the game all right, but it was just the execution or tidiness going inside 50. We had probably 4 or 5 clear opportunities, and we didn't execute one of those kicks inside 50 for just easy marks inside 50. So they go down the other end and they score 2 goals from backline stoppages, and that keeps the scoreboard ticking. So, but all said and done, when it comes down to it, they've won the ball and they've owned it, and again we weren't able to keep it for long enough, and that was probably some of the difference in the end, whether that's tidiness or free kicks, whatever it looks like.
Here's a bit of a man down. What happened at Maloney half-time?
Just before half-time, I think he might have just tightened up in his hamstring again, and given that he did that last week, we just took a very conservative approach. So.
How do you rate Brisbane as a final team now that this one?
Oh, we've rated them highly. I mean, we put a lot of emphasis, didn't we, Rock, coming into the game, about the side, good opportunity to test ourselves against a finals-bound side. They've always been just that, I guess, as we've evolved as a team, they've always just been that one rung higher. So we're that chasing pack, if you want to call it that, and they've managed to find their way into the finals. So I think their prospects look good. They've got a few weapons, so and they use them wisely. There's no reason why they can't do very well.
Simon, as a player out there today, especially at the start of the second quarter, Michael already touched on it before, but what do you guys have to do to sort of arrest that real, domination possession going the other way?
Yeah, I think we've just got to control the footy a little bit better. I think we got a chance where we got a held up ball and in the back 50 and we tried to flick on a handball. We've just got to be smarter than that. It was a couple of young blokes, so it's probably an education thing that we'll touch on this week as a playing group. But when a side wrestles momentum back, you've just got to try and get your uncontested marks and just try and control the footy for a 2-3 minute period. It's hard to control a game for 5 or 6 minutes, chip mark, but where we're at the moment, we've just got to look to slow the game down for 2 or 3 minutes, just try and maintain possession and then give our forwards a chance to realign and get the numbers in front of the footy and then look to go forward.
You seem to have plenty of run in the fourth quarter. Is that something you back yourselves with your fitness levels?
Yeah, I think we've had a really good pre-season, a big pre-season, couple of pre-seasons under Brett Burton now, and we know that we can go all the way to the line, and it's strange because we don't save ourselves, but when teams are jumping you, it's not a good thing. So we've got to look to rectify that and make sure that we run harder early, so that we've got teams off the bit, and then we can really finish strong. And there's some exciting times ahead, and when we start doing that, look out.
I know you spoke about the early, so they're not taking advantage of entries inside 50. Is that just a function of getting used to life for the time being without a big fella? Yeah.
Only if I thought that it was better when he was there.
It's been a recurring problem.
It's just something we've got to get better at as a footy team. So it's just highlights that we've got to get better. There's a lot of good things that are coming out in our group. Again, it's so we can keep emphasising that, but we're still growing as a footy team. And one of the things that we've got to clearly get better at is just our use all the way down the field. I think you've seen how dynamic this team can be and how breathtaking at times we are when we get genuine flow in our game. So there's something really genuinely to work with there. But yeah, it's moments in games, starter games, or just a little bit of tidiness here and there that we need to clean up. We've got to eliminate these 8-minute patches. You described it as 8 minutes. We've just got to eliminate these 8-minute patches that are just catching us on the back foot, and some tidiness issues we've just got to clean up. So, I would say last year, or certainly early in the year, it was nearly a quarter. So, it was 30 minutes where it was just almost like we hadn't even participated in the match. That time's coming down and further down. We've just got to make sure that we can really sort of nullify that, so they just don't get series of goals against us, and we can shut the game down for a while and fight a bit longer. I thought we still did that at the back end of the second quarter, mind you. So it gave us, not in touch, I suppose, at a half time, but something to work with. And to the guys' credit, after half time, we managed to implement some of that.
Tom, did you think you were a chance?
Yeah, massive chance. I think once we sort of tidied up our ball movement, Richmond like to get a lot of numbers behind the footy, so with our ball movement going inside 50, we're trying to enter from halfway a lot, and once we sort of straightened that up, we hit the short about 60, 70 from goal, and then it gave our key forwards like Merritt, and I think even Sammy Mays took a couple of marks inside 50, and once we started to hit the shorter kick and give ourselves a chance to overlap run and go damaging inside 50, but with at the 20-minute mark, I think we got back to 16 points and felt like we were sort of running over the top, and they took a couple of marks and just took 2 or 3 valuable minutes off the clock, and that was a game ball.
Particularly in the first half, they won a lot of clear possession and the centre bounces. What's the thinking to sort of curb that? Do you go for a bit more of a defensive structure in the second half, or do you back your guys to win the ball?
There wasn't really that much of a... Didn't feel a lot, really. I didn't feel it was.
A lot from Marrich's tabs.
Yeah.
They came.
A lot of clear possession down into the ball.
They went back a lot and then shifted it out sideways. It didn't feel like that out on the ground, that they were really penetrating, coming out the front of the stoppages, but...
It might have a couple of times, but we did it a few times to them, so you can't win all of them.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.